What's up, everybody? We're back again with Let's Talk Podcast. We're back again with what?
Let's Talk Podcast.
Okay, guys, today on the discussion, should we continue supporting DEI programs? So we got another side that's going to be supporting it, and another side that's going to be against it. So, okay, guys, should we support the DEI programs? Yes.
I don't think we should support DEI programs, and I don't think critical race theory is correct. Systematic racism is correct. I think today there is not any systematic programs, laws, anything of that nature actively going against black people or anybody else, a minority. When you look at history, 1950s, 1940s, it definitely existed with voting, with legal positions, jobs. It definitely existed. Nowadays, there might be racism, but it's not systematic. And I don't think we should support those groups. I don't think we should support DEI. Let somebody earn something. Don't just give it to them, black or otherwise.
All right, so I would say that critical race theory is, the problem is real. There's definitely a racism issue that's always existed in America ever since its inception, ever since people got here. But I don't think that the systematic racism has continued. I would say that the United States government, they've already won the battle against black and Hispanic people. When you look at the 1950s, the war against Puerto Rico, when President Truman deployed the National Guard against Puerto Rico because they were trying to take their money out the banks, and that drove Puerto Rico into utter poverty. They're still suffering from it to this day. When you look at policies established in the 1970s by, I believe it was Richard Nixon, the man in the house rule, he basically said it was targeted towards black families. If there was no man in the house, then that house qualifies for welfare. So that drove black fathers out of the home because they're going to make more money off of welfare than just one man working. So black fathers on a whole felt like their family would be better without them. That's taken a huge toll on the black community. Statistically, when you look at children raised without fathers, they're more likely to end up in prison, more likely to end up on drugs, more likely to just be completely unsuccessful in life. And the government knows that. The problem with the left or critical race theory is they won't admit that because then it would contradict the left's idea of radical feminism, the idea that men are not needed when they know they are. The reason why the right or the conservative side won't admit that is because then they have to admit that America was not always great for everybody. When you say make America great again, who are you talking about? You're not talking about black and Hispanic people. They've always been treated horribly. So, I mean, the war is over. Now, yes, there was systemic racism put in place at one point, but it's not needed anymore. They already destroyed the black and Hispanic community. So they take it out and then they try to pretend like, oh, black, Hispanic, and white people, they're all equal in this country. Look at our laws. Look at our financial institutions. Look at our systems. But you're just taking history out of context when you do that. Black communities and Hispanic communities are suffering from what happened from the 50s, 60s, and 70s. So the problem is true. There's a disparity going on in the black and Hispanic community. Is the solution critical race theory? Absolutely not. Because what you're doing is you're teaching children in school to hate the opposite race. That's all critical race theory is. You're giving them this victim mentality before they've even stepped out in the real world. It's just the battle is over before it even started. So critical race theory, absolutely not the solution, but there certainly is a problem with racial disparity in America.
That was super articulated.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. You make me want to change my mind. You want to say something? I mean, yeah, I pretty much agree with you. At first, I was going to be I agree with the critical race theory, but after hearing what both of y'all have said, I would say I disagree now. And we know that racism is a thing in the United States, even though it's not seen in the legal system, seen in the laws. We can see it in society based on history, and then so when we learn about history, then we can I'm struggling real hard right now. But basically what I'm trying to say is when you look at history, the way that people are being treated, and then they kind of continue to do that because that's what they're used to, that's what they've learned. But we can change that, and the United States is working on doing that because they've taken out like racist laws from the legal system, especially with slaves and like the 1/3 voting and all those things. So I definitely disagree with critical race theory.
I don't think I'm not even on the camera. Okay. Hey everyone.
Take my seat, take my seat.
Sure? Okay. Alright, so to be honest, I just learned what the definition of critical race theory is, but now that I know, I realize I knew what it was, didn't know what the name was. And I have to say that in terms of what this is related to, as I would say, it's partly related to affirmative action. And affirmative action is trying to, I think, be a hero by forcing equality. And equality is definitely something that the United States obviously supports by the American dream being anyone of any skin color, race, size can achieve financial freedom through hard work and nothing else. Obviously, the critical race theory is dependent on whether or not that is true, or if that is only for the white Americans, for instance. And I am on the side of, since we have a president that is, or had a president that was black, Barack Obama, I believe that as long as your philosophy and your heart, like you truly, as a person, am, I guess, in line with the idea that you can achieve the American dream, and not self-victimize yourself and say, oh, well, I can't do it because I'm black, or I can't do it because I'm Mexican. It would kind of be like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Well, then you just can't do it because you're black, or you can't do it because you're Mexican, kind of thing. I understand that there are obviously drawbacks to being in a minority. That is something that nobody can, take away from the fact that there is a difference. But I think affirmative action takes away the ambition. I don't have to work harder or have to prove or show my resilience regardless of what minority I'm in, because it'll be handed to me on a silver platter anyway. You know, I'll be able to get to this college or to get to that job because I'm black, and that's okay because they got it there, they got here, and they got there because they're white. So, you know, if they can get there because they're white and I can get there because I'm black, then that's fine. But I don't think Barack Obama got there because he was black. Barack Obama became the United States president of the United States because he believed that the American dream was possible for him. And I think if affirmative action were to be in place for the president, then that would take away all that Barack Obama stands for, wouldn't it?
That's right. Anybody else? That's it. Okay, guys, that's it with Let's Talk Podcast.
Podcast.
We're gonna be back again.
Yeah.